Gee, is it looking dark in here or what? Well, it better because we're playing some Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD Nocturne Remaster. Did I get that right? I hope so. Well, we're not quite playing it just yet, even though at this time I have played it, and by this time I mean the time that the video posts, but not at the time of recording. Whatever, don't be confused. At the time of recording this, I have not played a single lick of this game. Don't get caught up in the semantics. The big thing is I wanted to archive my thoughts before going into the game. What are my hopes and what are my expectations for this remaster? So a little bit of backstory. I have owned this game and played a little bit of it on the PlayStation 2 back when it came out in, what was that, 2003? I'm actually going to verify that for you, but before I do, I'll just talk generally about my experience. So as you may know, if you've watched my content before, I didn't used to be too crazy about the PlayStation or PlayStation 2. And so I did not really invest myself into a lot of games. I remember at one point I owned 30 games and I had finished one of them. By the way, we verified this game came out in February 20th, 2003. And so I ended up selling this game. I didn't regret it too much. I didn't think much of it anyway. I had actually put about 25 hours into another PS2 SMT game, Devil Summoner 2, Raido Kuzunoa versus King Abaddon. Terrific game. I love that. But this one didn't make too much of an impression on me. Fast forward to today, I had heard the news in a recent Nintendo Direct about SMT3 Remaster and about SMT5, and I decided that I was going to get this game and I was going to really push my way through it. And it's weird because at this time I found a way to enhance my enjoyment of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, but I still decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on this remaster, even though the PS2 one is still affordable and easy to acquire and a lot cheaper. I decided that I would rather know I was voting with my wallet to support more mainline SMT turn-based games. If you're talking to me about Persona Strikers or Persona Dancing All Night, forget it. I'm good. Somebody else can support that. That's not supporting the games from that company that I love. But this is, in a way. So regardless how much further off this is from the PlayStation 2 experience, I don't really mind because I know that I am furthering the SMT series in the West. So there are still some scummy things I'm not crazy about. I'm not crazy about the idea of paying for easy mode. That's lame. I guess it would be lame to pay for easy mode anyway. But to make that an option, I mean, come on, Atlas. I did expect a little better. If you guys are hurting for money, just open the shop back up, or I don't know, maybe just include it in the game and make it the full $60 release. You guys made it $50 anyway. So that was weird. But I still am looking forward to experiencing this game, and I'm going to talk to you about what I'm hoping for. So my first hope really has to be in the visual department. I know that this is a PlayStation 2 game, and does it really matter how much more polished it looks on the modern TV? In a sense, yes, because they put this out on the PlayStation 4. If this was only on the Switch, I'd be like, who cares? I'll just play it in handheld mode. But because I got this version for the PlayStation 4, I picked that one first off for streaming purposes. But second, I don't take my PS4 out of the media center room, and the PS4 stays hooked up to the biggest TV that I have. So I want every game looking terrific on there. And I know if you stretch out the PS2 screen, it's not going to be great anyway, but I still think that this game has a lot of potential. The only issue with that is with the hour or so that I did play into the PS2 version, I know a lot of the environments were barren and wastelands. And so I just hope that most of the game isn't like that, and that it is really a bit of a spectacle. I do expect a lot from Shin Megami Tensei. These are beautiful, glorious games where you see demons in all their majesty and you fight against gods. And, I really do want a very powerful experience here. So I'm craving that. I'm hoping for that. I'm kind of expecting it in a sense. I know that the setting is kind of barren and wasteland and apocalyptic, but that doesn't mean that there's not potential in terms of the presentation. Let's talk about another component that's going to be tied to those demons and those portrayals is the story and the characters. I'm hoping for a riveting story here. I loved SMT4. I loved SMT4 Apocalypse. I bought into those worlds and those scenarios. This kind of fight against the deities, and this journey through Tokyo and the infestation of Japan with these mythical monsters. And I'm hoping for something similar in Nocturne. I'm afraid that that's not going to be the case. I mean, there was a good 10, 12 years before we got the next entry in this series, and this is going backwards in time. I don't know how well that translated, but on the plus side, this is primarily a 3D experience. 4 was interesting because it had this kind of like computer graphics RPG style blended in with 3D segments, which I actually loved, and is part of the reason I do hold the 3DS versions in such high regard. But I think that there's a different, unique kind of potential here that I didn't experience in 4 or 4 Apocalypse. So I'm hopeful. I have high expectations. I don't know about characters. I don't know what characters you'll meet along the way. I do hope that it is tangible, because I played a little bit of Digital Devil Saga on the PS2, and that one is just so far beyond my grasp. I don't know if I can even buy into that storyline. The other thing is, I hope it's not generic too. I hope it's not just generic like apocalyptic scenario. I played a bit of Soul Hackers, and the story there was very much just like, enter the game verse. You are in the video game, and I've seen that done too much by now. So I don't want something tacky in terms of story. I also do not want something tacky in the gameplay department. I have seen this done in a couple of entries in the series. I've seen it done in Soul Hackers, where you lose mana every step that you take. I've seen it done in Digital Devil Saga, where you have to feast on demons as like a in-game option in order to keep your food reserves high. And that kind of stuff walks a fine line between trying to create realism and just being damn frustrating. I don't like if something takes me out of the experience, and that kind of thing does, especially when it becomes just a hassle and a burden. And so I really am hopeful that that's not present in the game. I don't think it is. It wasn't from the time that I was experiencing it. I also hope that the gameplay is robust enough, and that in order to like kind of keep up with some of the more modern releases. SMT4 had probably one of the most robust systems, so I don't expect it to be, as intricate as it was on the 3DS, but I do expect it to be competent enough regardless. And I am hopeful there. And I'm also just hopeful that this game has a bitchin' soundtrack, because oh my gosh, did 4 and 4 Apocalypse and Raido Kuzunoa, oh my gosh, man, those games have beautiful soundtracks. Even Persona 4 and 5 have really good soundtracks as well. So I'm hoping that there's some slappers, there's some bangers, there's some stuff I can put on my YouTube Premium and go to the gym with. So we will see. We will see. And I will be sure to be back and let you know, as long as my PS4 does not crash before then, which I am hopeful and I expect it not to. But that's it for my hopes and expectations for Nocturne. Are you going to play this game? Let me know. I'd be interested to know. And also, if there is a game that you are looking forward to, what is it? Be sure to share with me, and I will look into it. Thanks for your time. I will see you in the future.